Hello, welcome to the garage. We are back once again, and believe it or not, we're going to talk about golf carts today, like we always do. We're going to go over some regular questions that we have collected throughout the week, and we're most likely going to talk to some people in the live. If anybody's in the live, feel free to make a comment. Always remember to like and subscribe to this content. That helps keep it going. Let's see here. There's the social media links where you can follow us not only on YouTube and Facebook, but you can follow us on all the social media links that are running right there right now. We come here every week, Tuesday and Thursday, and we talk to some nice people, get some golf cart issues taken care of, hopefully save some people some money. Remember to go to 𝗏𝘂𝗲𝘀𝗁.com. That's who I work for, Golf Cart Garage. I'm a member of the Gearheads on Demand service that we offer. That's a service we offer where you can actually schedule an appointment to speak with me if you would like to about your golf cart related issue. If you're interested in that, click the link in the description. That'll take you to the scheduling page. Always remember now, my time is very limited, so there's not a lot of slots. So if you try to schedule with me and they're full, catch me on. I'm live every Tuesday and Thursday at noon Central Time, right here on Facebook and YouTube. So catch me here, Facebook and YouTube. Have your question ready, and I'll see what I can do. If the slots are full. All right, let's see here. Let's get started with the regular questions. Question number one. I have a troubleshooting question for you. My E-Z-GO charger has stopped working, model 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲. Indicator light has given me two flashing red lights. I have tested a friend's identical charger with my cart, and I'm getting full charge. Before I pony up for a new charger, I'm thinking of how to repair my existing one. Any thoughts? Well, those chargers aren't really designed to be end user repaired unless you're good down to the component level. I mean, because that thing's full of circuit boards and diodes and circuit boards basically. So if you're ready to repair on a circuit board or something, you might could tackle it. But the older transformer type chargers are the ones that had replaceable parts. These newer chargers, they're pretty much, they either work or they don't. So that's up to you if you wanted to tackle something that extensive. You might call up 𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃 and see if they have some advice, if maybe they have a repair facility for that. But other than that, you're going to have to really be ready with the soldering iron and the circuit board. Let's see. Jen Slinger, what's up, man? Good morning, Swag Master Tim. All your swag bros say hi. I say hi right back to you, swag brothers. William Rizzo, hey Tim, from the Florida Keys, what's up, William? Mason Grove, hey Tim, from Lake City, Minnesota, swag man. What's up, Mason? I bet it's cold. I think I saw something on the news about Minnesota. Did y'all have some kind of blizzard or something? Some crazy temperatures, or was that? I think it was Minnesota. I think it was. I think I saw that today. Let's see. Number two. I am confused whether I have a charger problem or the cart itself. My charger will charge my battery some. A few days ago, it went from about 60% battery to 90%, but it seemed this last 10% is causing the red light to come on. Well, you could have a bad battery that's holding it back, and after a certain amount of time, that charger being held back and it not making any progress, it could flash an error code. So that may be what's going on. The way that you could check on that is when it gets to that point where it's holding back, the charger's running. Check your battery voltages at that point. Get some readings off your batteries. Let's see what voltage is your car here. Oh, you didn't tell me which voltage. Okay, so if it's a 48 volt car and you're running 6 8-volt batteries, those each 8-volt battery toward the end of the charge cycle should be getting close, believe it or not, to almost 10 volts a piece. almost 10 volts, you know, right in that area. If they're not, then you've got something holding you back on one of those batteries. So you might want to check that out. Kurt Bauer, hey Tim, 80 degrees here in Branderton, Florida. Ready to ride. I'm ready to ride too, but it's a little cool still. It's a little cool where I'm at for that. I'm kind of spoiled. I like to ride motorcycles too, so but I don't like to go riding my motorcycle if it's under 70 degrees. So that's pretty spoiled. Let's see. Let me check Facebook. Oh, we're good there. All right. Bought my cart used. The cart won't go in reverse. I've changed the direction switch and still can't figure out what's wrong. How do I tell if the controller is the issue? Does this cart have, my question would be, do you have a run tow switch or not? Because if you do have a run tow switch, then the controller is the device that is responsible for your forward and reverse movement. So it would be very likely that it's your controller if your car has a run tow switch. If you do not have a run tow switch, then you want to take a look at your forward and reverse, mechanical forward and reverse assembly. They can very easily go bad. You've got 2 micro switches on there too. That you could ohm out and test to see if they're, make sure there's smooth operation on the mechanical parts. Make sure the copper contacts are clean. Make sure you don't have any discoloration on the copper contacts. That can all cause your reverse one direction to go out. So you're going to have to check that out. Mason says, starting this afternoon, 20 to 30 inches of snow by Thursday. That's what I thought I saw. So it was Minnesota in the news, and 30 to 50 mile an hour winds. Should make some good drifts. Temps are decent, 20 to 25 degrees. So it was Minnesota that I saw in the news about that. It was a blizzard. That's what it was. It was talking about a bad blizzard. Man, that's terrible. We got a couple of years ago, we got 18 inches of snow here. That's the most I've ever seen in my life, and that was unreal. So I can only imagine 20 to 30 inches. Jen Slinger, have to get her done. Just wanted to stop in to support the channel. Cheers. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it, Jen Slinger. Greg Elliott says, hi, Tim. You are buffering. Uh-oh. It's straightened out now. Okay, good. I'm glad it's straightened out. William Rizzo, it's 81, feels like 85 in the Keys. Now, see, that's my kind of weather there. That's it right there. Let me check Facebook one more time. Don't get a lot of people on Facebook anymore for some reason. Used to. Let's see. Number 4 is where we're at. I have a Precedent electric club car. It has a lift kit and knobby tires. I use the cart for miscellaneous chores around my 10-acre lot. What products do you recommend for lubrication and or grease to eliminate squeaks? Any other maintenance tips? Well, I use golf carts for my property maintenance also. I have for years. And occasionally I do develop a squeak. So the only thing I can say is you've got bushings in the rear on leaf springs. You've got a few grease fittings in the front end and some bushings in the front end. So look for your grease fittings are alamites. They're called alamites, but some people don't know what an alamite is. Well, it's just another word for grease fitting. So you've got some grease fittings that a grease gun will fit onto for your spindles, and some club cars have several on the A-arms. E-Z-GO might have some in the steering mechanism, depending on how old your E-Z-GO is. So look for your grease fittings, or get your manual out and figure out where all your grease fittings are. But also, you know, WD-40 does wonders on a squeak if you find it. You know, if you find where it's at, you can just spray something with WD-40. Let's see. Golf Cart Garage says Tim for president. Now look at there. That's cool. Thank you, Golf Cart Garage. Let's see here. I think we're cool there. Number 5 is where we're at. Hi, can you tell me when using a 12-volt battery charger, is it better to connect two 8-volt batteries to charge, which would be in essence 16 volts, then charge with a 12-volt charger, or use 12-volt battery charger for a single 8-volt battery for a short period of time? Well, the answer is if you try to charge two 8 volts with the 12-volt charger, you're not going to get anywhere because you're trying to charge a 16-volt accepting battery bank with a production of only 12 volts. So that's not going to get you anywhere. So the answer to your question is it's better to charge one 8-volt battery, but for a short period of time. I mean, this is a real safety issue here because you're not doing what the equipment is designed to do. A 12-volt battery charger is not designed to charge an 8-volt battery. Now, it can be done in an emergency, but for a short period of time. Don't connect it and walk away from it. Connect it, put a timer, 30 minutes, something like that, and then make sure you stay on top of that if you're going to do that. I found out that they do make 8-volt chargers, by the way. So it is possible to get an 8-volt charge, and it's also possible to get a 24-volt charger. That's 3 8-volts, in a row. So that would be that's 3 8-volts. That'd be a way to do 3 at a time with a 24-volt charger. They're a little more common than 8-volt chargers, but I've had some customers point out to me that there is a such thing as an 8-volt charger that I wasn't aware of. Let's see. I thought they're called Zerk fittings, William says. Well, Zerk fittings, grease fittings, alamites. It's all the same thing. We're talking about the little nub that the grease gun fits onto. So you're correct. Yeah, Zerk fittings is another name for it. Okay. 12-volt charger for a short period of time. Number 6. See what we got there. What is the best way to store batteries in the cart in a barn that is not heated? Now, we get this question, on a daily basis almost at Golf Cart Garage. And the answer to any question having to do with batteries and cold weather, the answer is always this. You must have a charging plan. That's it. That's all you got to do is you have to have a charging plan. If you're going to leave your car unattended with no heat throughout winter, especially winters like Mason has, I mean, you need some kind of charging plan because that can be something as simple as you getting a neighbor to come over and unplug the cart and charge it back up every couple of weeks. Unplug the charger and plug it back in. Or you need to get a charger like a Lester Summit 2 that we sell at Golf Cart Garage. Get a charger that has a storage mode function, which is similar to a trickle charge function, but it's not the same thing. It will come on and off automatically. In other words, it'll keep your batteries charged up throughout the winter. You just need some type of plan. That's all there is to it. Okay. Number 7. I have a 96 𝗟𝗂. I put a new motor in it, and after I did, I had no power whatsoever. I took it to the dealer, and he quoted that I need a new controller, solenoid, and tow switch. When they analyzed it, it only came out to 24.5 volts. Is it possible that all this could go wrong at once? What do you recommend? Well, I can tell you what I have seen. And there is a way to make all that go out at once, and I can tell you what it is. If you tow a golf cart that has a run tow switch, a golf cart that has a run tow switch, if it breaks down on you and you get somebody to tow you in and you end up having to tow that golf cart back to the golf cart barn or back to your house or whatever, and you forgot to put that run tow switch into tow, all of the stuff that you just mentioned could happen at the same time, and even more. It could be even more. It could even be your batteries could get ruined also. What happens when you pull a cart and tow is that motor turns into a generator, because it does have regenerative braking. It turns into a massive generator, but the car's electrical system is not on. and so it starts back feeding energy to the batteries, the solenoid, the controller, and all that stuff burn up, and you could also catch it on fire that way. Now, if everything is working correctly on your golf cart and you forgot and you forgot to put it in tow and you started to pull it, you should feel resistance. I mean, you should feel resistance depending on what kind of vehicle you're towing it with. If you're towing it with another golf cart, you'll definitely feel resistance. That should remind you to go put it in a tow, because if you put it in tow, then it'll freewheel. You'll be able to freewheel pull it. So I don't know if that's what happened to your golf cart, but I'm just saying it is possible for all of that stuff to go out at once that they mentioned. That was number 7. Let's check on over here. We're cool there. Number 8. Why does my 2009 Club Car Precedent backfire when the throttle is released? Thanks, Tim. Well, anytime you get a backfire, it's going to be because of excessive unburnt fuel that got into the cylinder. So the most common way for that to happen is that your needle and seat is out of adjustment. Your needle and seat did not seal off when you let off the accelerator pedal. It's supposed to seal off and no more fuel goes through there. When you have your accelerator pushed, it's firing and fuel at the same time. So it should burn up all the fuel because it's firing. When you stop the fire, you shouldn't burn up any more fuel. So it's going to have something to do with that, I would imagine. Something to do with your needle and seat. I would have questions like, is the overflow valve spilling, if you notice any gas leaking out, any gas spilling out of the overflow valve, I would ask that question. I would ask, does it do it in neutral? Crank the car in neutral and rev it up, does it still backfire? If you change the plug, because it could be a fouling plug that's causing it. I mean, I've always said this, do the simple things first, and then we'll get into the more complicated things after that. Number 9. I have a 2007 𝗟𝘂𝗲𝗀 TXT with a 295cc Robin engine. The engine was burning oil and smoke, so I pulled it and installed new rings. I put the motor back in after the rings and put oil in new plugs and filters. The engine ran fire for 5 minutes and quit. I did not rev it or beat on it at all. I baby my stuff. It will not start now. I checked and cleaned the carb. Spark is strong. I checked compression and it is 0 psi. Uh-oh. Valves are at 0.004 on the feeler. Any ideas about what I did wrong? Any help is appreciated. Thanks. Well, since you checked your valve clearance, then I'm assuming that you do not have a stuck valve, because a stuck valve could cause 0 compression also. But so if you do not have a stuck valve, you obviously broke a ring. Your new rings didn't take for some reason. I don't know. Maybe your piston was out of whack. It was time to get new pistons also. Might have been time to do a bore job. I mean, if you just replace the rings, if that would be, just for a quick fix in an engine. I don't know how thoroughly you checked everything out, because just replacing the rings, it would have to have been not worn really hardly at all, and I would be wondering why it was smoking so bad, without needing a new piston or a new hone in the jug, and maybe a new piston size, and go over 1 bore or something on the piston. Let's see. Chevy Man says, is the needle clogged? Yeah, well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. Something is not right with his needle and seat. It could be clogged. The hole that the needle closes off could be clogged up. Let's see. Kirk Bauer, Tim, my 88 club car does not have a tow switch. If it should die, can it be pushed back home with no damage? Thanks, swag. Yes, it can, Kirk. If it does not have a run tow switch, then you can tow it, and it's not going to hurt anything. But don't do that with one that does have a run tow switch. You're just asking for trouble. Let me see here. Number 10, last regular question. All right. Hello, Tim. Will an electric motor lose power over time? Should I replace my motor? It is over 5 years old. My answer to that question would be no. They don't generally, no. They don't lose power over time. Electric motors are dealing with magnetic fields and electricity and voltage, and as long as the voltage is correct, the magnetic field is going to be correct, and it's going to produce the horsepower or the rating that's usually written on the side of the motor. It's going to produce a certain amount of RPMs at a certain voltage, and then it's going to produce a certain horsepower at that voltage, or at that RPM too. So the answer generally is no. They generally either work or they don't, and they either work depending on how much voltage is put toward them, how many amps are put toward them. Let's see, Juan John 1. Welcome to the chat, Juan John 1 on YouTube. Happy Fat Tuesday. Tim, I have a 2006 48-volt club car Precedent. I'm doing a lithium conversion. Do I have to bypass the onboard computer? Yes, you would, Juan John, because I'll tell you why. Because your lead acid pack, I don't know if you've noticed, but your last battery negative cable on your lead acid pack, it goes right through the center of your onboard computer. Well, that onboard computer is designed to take readings off of that cable. It does it wirelessly, but it just does it by proximity. It's a proximity sensor inside that onboard computer that can take readings off of that negative cable. That onboard computer is designed to take readings off of a lead acid pack, not a lithium pack. So that lithium pack is going to send some weird signals. So it would definitely be advisable to bypass the onboard computer, and plus your lithium pack is going to come with its own charger. It's not going to work with that onboard computer anyway. So the answer to your question would be yes, you're going to need to bypass the OBC. After that, you should be fine. It should work great. Okay. Here's the social media links again, in case somebody missed them, where you can follow us on other platforms. We come here Tuesday and Thursday. We go live on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also follow Golf Cart Garage on those other platforms. Let's see, and here is Juan John 1 says, cool, man, thanks. Love the show. Been watching them all on my day off. Okay, cool, Juan John. Appreciate you being here. Just for that, Juan John, I'm going to give you a coupon code. Look at the screen. Get 5% off any parts you order at golfcartgarage.com by using the coupon code TIM8 at checkout. This code expires March the 10th, 2023. March the 10th. Get 5% off any parts you order. Use the code TIM8 at checkout. All right. That looks like it's going to be about it, except for, I'm not going to forget the tip this time. 𝗟𝗶𝘃𝗲, what do you mean? I missed you. Where were you at? What's up, Eric? Let's see. Greg Elliott says, how do you check speed sensor? 2016 Yamaha Drive G29. Well, I'll tell you, an easy way to check speed sensor is put the car in forward, put the key on, run toe switch in run, go behind your car and push it, and start pushing it. If it freewheels, if you're able to push it, then your speed sensor is bad. That's one kind of simple test for a speed sensor. I've seen that symptom happen on 90-something% of speed sensors. You'll be able to freewheel the cart, and you shouldn't be able to do that. You should not be able to. It should hold you back electrically when you try to push it. So that's one way to check the speed sensor. Now, the advantage a golf cart shop has, when I had a golf cart shop, is that I had several speed sensors laying on the, on a desk somewhere, and they're very easy to swap out. So I would swap one out. But other than that, I don't know if there's an electrical test that you can do on a speed sensor. I'd just check for cracked magnet, because a speed sensor involves a magnet. So you just look at them, take it off and remove it, and visually inspect it, and make sure the magnet is not damaged. Kirk Bauer says, don't forget the tip. Appreciate it, Kirk. I'm not going to forget the tip. Eric Boucher says that I missed his question. Oh, okay. I see it, Eric. I got you. I did miss your question. I have an old club car with the coils and a newer one, but the newer one, it has a bad rear end. Can I switch the rear end and hook up the motor from the older cart? The wires aren't marked. Uh, we're talking about both of these cars are club cars, Eric. If they are, then the answer is yes. You can switch the rear end. You don't even have to, as long as you're going to swap the motor over, it doesn't even matter if uh, if the, if you, let's see, how can I say this? It doesn't even matter if one of them had a run toe switch and the other one didn't. As long as you bring your motor with you, it will bolt up to that rear end. You can use that rear end because the rear end has nothing to do with the cart electrically. So, but you're going to need to get a wiring diagram if the cables aren't marked though. Switch the rear end in the older cart. The wires aren't marked. Well, they should be marked on the motor. So just make sure you check real good before you start disconnecting the wires from the motor itself, because they should be marked on the motor. Let's see. Yeah, try that test, Greg. Push your cart with it and run. Toe switch and run. Forward, key on. Get behind it and push it and see if it freewheels, and that will tell you if your speed sensor is bad. Okay, here's the tip, Eric. I mean, Kurt. This week's tip is always put, I've already talked about this, talked about it several times in this episode. Always put the car in tow before you tow it. That's this week's tip. You should see what can happen to the motor if you don't do that. The outside of the motor will look fine. It may be even locked up. I mean, I've seen them literally just explode, just burn up and explode on the inside. But you don't know that until you take the armature out of the motor and you look at the armature and it's just all burnt and fried. Let's see. Yeah, Eric says yes. So yeah, you can use that rear end, no problem. Check over here on Facebook. Joe Foster. I got you, Joe. You just got in there. Good day, Tim. From Kings Mountain, North Carolina. Swag. Appreciate you coming into the chat, Joe. And the swag is, I feel it. I feel the swag. It's going to happen. Eric says, how do I figure out where the wires go on the older one? They're not marked. Well, the wires themselves might not be marked, but what I'm saying is that they're marked on the motor. Look at the motor and see if they're marked there. If not, you're just going to have to get a wiring diagram. And those are easily found. I don't know if you're familiar with the golf cart forums or not, Eric. I'm a member of the two major golf cart forums. I'll give them a plug. I've used them for years. That helped me. buggiesgonewild.com is one of them. buggiesgonewild.com. And cartaholics.com is another one. I've used those two golf cart forums for years, and they have several wiring diagrams posted on the forum. I don't even think you don't even need to sign up to be a member to have access to the wiring diagrams, but it probably would help all of you if you did sign up as a member for some of those golf cart forums. It's easy to find someone that has either a similar issue of yours, or sometimes you'll find somebody that has the exact same issue and the question had been answered. Let's see. Greg Elliott says his car was very easy to push. Well, what is the cart doing, Greg? It's your 2016 Yamaha Drive 48 volt G29. What is it doing? I mean, what is the symptom that made you question the speed sensor to begin with? Is what I would want to know. And I'll check. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to Facebook and look over here. We're good there. While I'm waiting on Greg to answer, Okay, Eric says that I'm also converting my second golf cart to lithium. What do I need to know to change that? Well, when converting a golf cart to lithium, the only thing you need to know is that you are probably, most likely, the lithium companies that we deal with, they all recommend using their charger. They have their own charger. So just keep that in mind. And if your cart has an onboard computer, you're going to have to bypass it. If it doesn't have an onboard computer, don't worry about it. Just do the conversion to lithium, use their charger, and everything is fine. That's it. That's all there is to it. Your golf cart does not know that it's running off of 1 lithium or 6 lithiums or whatever you're going to be using. See, William Rizzo says you will definitely need a lithium charger. Well, yeah, that's why most of the lithium manufacturers, at least all the ones that we deal with, they have their own. They have their own, and they say we just recommended to use our charger. There's another 300 or so bucks, for the lithium charger. That way you can be assured there won't be a problem if you run into a warranty issue. Like that's so they had to start being real specific about that, because a lithium charger does not charge the batteries with the same algorithm as a lead acid charger. So the lithium companies being so expensive, their batteries being so expensive, they have real specific rules on whether or not they're going to accept a warranty claim. So it's all about warranty. And Greg Elliott said it was slow down on level ground. Well, yeah, that's a good sign, especially if it takes off fine at first and then it slows down like it's almost for no reason. That's a good sign that you have a speed sensor fault going on. So yeah, that'd be where I would be leaning there too. Okay, I'll run the coupon code one more time and then we're gonna get out of here. Get 5% off at Golf Cart Garage. Batteries are good. Yeah. Well, if it's slowing down and batteries are good, by the way, coupon code is TIM8 at checkout at golfcartgarage.com. If batteries are good and it's slowing down for no reason, it's very likely speed sensor. That looks like it's going to be about it. All right. I will see everybody later. Today is Tuesday. I'll see everybody on Thursday, Thursday the 23rd. We will be back. Feel free to come into the chat and ask questions. Feel free to just say, "What's up, Tim?" and tell me how the weather's doing in your part of the country. That's always interesting to me. All right, thank everybody for coming. I will see everybody Thursday. Laters.